Hi, I'm Jen from Jen Michelle Coaching, and today I want to talk about 3 ways to reconnect to your feminine energy. Myself and so many women that I work with are in their masculine energy most of the day. They're working a stressful, perhaps, high powered position. They are ambitious women who are focused on getting things done and keeping things moving. There's lots of moving parts to their day. There's lots of things to problem solve that are fast paced and very task oriented. So when we have a job that is requiring us to be in very much our masculine energy, it can be really hard to switch modes at the end of the day. We can just stay in that mode, and before we know it, everything in our life seems like a means to an end. And the thing is, when it comes to men and relationships, if we want a masculine energy man who's moving things forward and who's making us a priority and leading the relationship, we cannot also be in our problem solving, analytical, keep it moving masculine energy. We will crash, and he can't connect to this. It will completely just shut off his heart, and he won't be able to reach that level of intimacy required to push things forward and to have that gut feeling that you're the one that he wants to be with. And so here are 3 ways to move from our masculine energy to our feminine energy at the end of a day. So if you're anything like me, you've got a million things going on throughout the day, and at the end of the day, it's hard to shut that off. So before you know it, you're home and you're, getting stuff done around the house, or you're quickly preparing a meal, or you're reporting on your day, just kind of sharing information that maybe, our guy needs to know, depending upon what stage of a relationship you're in. This is if you're living with him or married, but it can happen in dating as well. We're just like quickly giving a report of what happened throughout the day, and he can't connect to this at all. And so the first thing that we want to do is we want to establish a ritual of switching hats, of actually switching from our masculine energy into our feminine. And for me, that means when I come home, I kind of have this immediate switch. Like, I immediately know that I'm leaving everything behind, and now is the time with my husband and my family, and I am going to connect to my feminine energy. There's nowhere to be, there's nothing to do, there's nothing to worry about. I'm just giving myself permission to be present and experience whatever it may be with my family in a really authentic and open way. And so one way I transition is I come home and I'll take a bubble bath, I'll have a cup of tea, I'll do something that slows me down a little bit and kind of reacquaints me with just being present, just being open. And so this is something daily that I do to transition myself. I don't just come home and like, bam, I'm in my feminine. I actually need to move into it through having little rituals of grounding and centering myself. And most days it is a cup of tea and maybe a little bit of journaling. Some days it is just like taking a relaxing bubble bath if I have the time, or it can be taking a walk. It can be just doing something nice and maybe special for yourself. Pampering yourself a little bit. It can be like giving yourself a facial mask or whatever it is that you're into that kind of just like puts you in a mood where you feel a little bit prettier, you feel a little bit lighter, you feel like you can kind of just, turn the volume down, right? And as you do this, you will notice that men respond to this. Men very, very much connect to a woman who is in that slow, sensual energy. They do not connect to a fast paced, frantic energy because they are in that problem solving mode themselves. And so they need that polar energy to connect strongly. So the number one thing is establish a ritual to remind yourself daily to transition into your feminine energy, whether he's present or not. Because if you're just dating and you're not seeing him often, consider the more you can practice this, the better you will be at doing it when he is in the picture or when he is with you. So this applies to women in any stage of a relationship, including just being single and not actively dating anyone. Number two is just slowing down. This is such a big one, right? Slowing down is huge because we are likely just used to getting things done. We want to keep it moving. Bam, 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 means to an end. Let's get this done. And then I can finally relax. But then when it's time to relax, you can't relax because your energy is just all consuming. It's hard to turn that off, right? And so slowing it down means if you go to the grocery store, you're running a simple errand, you're looking through at the 20 different types of pasta, you're exploring what kind you want. There's no rush, right? Like you're, connecting with people, saying hello to people that pass by, making eye contact and smiling, not rushing through the exchange with the cashier, instead just making a point to connect and really feel that human connection, that sense of cultivating a deep way of, feeling that energy of another person. We're not just like digging in our bag saying, here you go, thanks, bye, good. We're actually slowing down to really experience that human connection and notice how that radiates and uplifts our energy in such a profound way. I will often hear, who has the time to do that? And the thing is, I get that, right? But we want to enhance the quality of, our interactions. And so our fast pace is something we set professionally and as needed in getting things done in our day-to-day life, such as parenting or errands. But then when it's evening or when we're not in that sort of work, professional, ambitious mode, we turn it off and we make some of those tasks enjoyable. We bring out the enjoyment in them. We bring out the presence and the magic in them, and we make it fun. We allow ourselves to be nowhere other than just where we are. And this is so powerful because when you are able to slow down and be present, he can connect deeper to himself when he's with you. And so this is a really, really powerful way of drawing a man in, pulling him in a way that you will have his heart forever because it feels so good to be around a woman who is slow, sensual, present, and just allowing her energy to radiate for all of those around her. And number three, we touched on it briefly in two, is just being present. Sometimes we underestimate the power of being present because it's kind of been become this cliche term that we hear all the time, be present. But what does that mean when it comes to men? Men are drawn to women who are in their feminine energy. A masculine energy man is drawn to a feminine energy woman, meaning that the woman is able to simply be, enjoy, and capture that moment without needing it to be different than what it is. So if we're analyzing and thinking about what's next or what's needed or having our agenda or feeling like we've got to manage things, we are missing out on this beautiful moment that he is trying to give us right now, and he can feel that. So the gift of presence is extremely powerful in a relationship, right? Or in dating or any stage. It is extremely powerful because this is where he connects to your heart and his heart deeply. He allows himself to relax because he feels that energy and it feels so good to be around. He starts to feel safe to open up. He starts to really have fun and get out of his head because your energy is conveying that it's safe to do so. You're not conveying that frantic, that sense of urgency, that sense of needing things to be different or moving it along. And therefore, you bring out those qualities in him. The feminine energy silently leads, right? Whereas the masculine energy leads in the sort of more concrete, push it forward, make things happen kind of way. But that feminine sensuality and gentleness is what subtly, energetically sets the tone. And so this is the energy that we want to convey, being present, slowing down, and establishing a ritual where we can let go of all the tasks that we've needed to complete throughout the day and relax into our feminine energy and have a lovely evening to ourselves, with our husband, with our family, whoever it may be. And you will notice that your relationship with men will transform as you practice these tools. If you would like additional content and information, go to my site, jenmichelle.com. I have many newsletters, lots of programs you can sign up for free. So I invite you to check that out, and I look forward to any comments or feedback. Have a great day. Bye.